Gardening with me. I'm Melissa, and today starts video number 4 of the potting shed renovation series. Today I am painting the ceiling, which was a suggestion of my friend Laura Spears, and I think that it's going to work out really well. All it's going to cost me is a couple cans of paint. And my friend Jessica from the gym and are just good family friends, she's going to come over and help me paint the ceiling today. So really excited, would love to get the whole ceiling done today. Not sure how it's gonna go, but watch along and see how it turns out. So I'm sure you don't need to watch as I paint the ceiling here, but I did want to just go over kind of the technique of what I used. What I ended up settling on was I used the paintbrush in the corners and also on the 2x4 beams. And then I used a really deep roller to roll out the plywood. As you can see, there's a lot of texture in the plywood, so I will eventually have to use 2 coats. And this is my good friend Jess just working away. I couldn't have done it without her. So today is another day of painting. If you count Sunday when I painted just a little bit to see what it was going to look like, then the next day, which was Monday, my girlfriend came over and she helped me wipe this out, man. Between the 2 of us working on it, we got it done pretty quick. She was a really hard worker, so Jess, I really appreciate you. And then today I'm going to go over it and do a second coat on the areas. With this being like that plywood, there's a lot of texture to it, so I'm going to go over and do a second coat and try to get that knocked out today. I've got to go babysit, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done, but here we go. And this is the finished ceiling after the second coat of paint. Really glad I did go ahead and do the second coat. I know it was a lot of extra work, but it covered it so well. And I just wanted to show you what I've been doing here. I used the speed square, went over 1.5 inches from my mark and clamped that down. That way when I use the circular saw, I get a nice straight cut every single time. It's a little extra work, but you know your cut is going to be straight. Here I'm cutting down the wood to, this is going to be the faux beams that I'm going to put up and cover up the 2x4s that are the support beams going across the potting shed. This wood is a tongue and groove wood, so in this video you'll see me cutting off the tongue part and cutting off the groove part, and then also cutting it down to size where it'll be just wide enough to cover 2 2x4s. I'm really glad that I thought ahead to situate this table saw on the table that I built the way that I did. That way when I have long boards like this, I can just open that door and feed it straight across. The only problem is now this table is on wheels, so I could have pulled it back a little more, but the way there's outlets and plugs and stuff, so I didn't do that. So I just have to go around to the other side and lift the wood up as it goes onto the table across the room, because these boards are 113 inches long. So on my last side, for my faux beam, I didn't have enough pieces. I thought I had 6, but I didn't realize that two of them that were stacked in there were short. This is extra wood that we used for all the walls in the wood shop here. So what I did is I took 2 smaller boards, I made fresh cuts, and I'm just gonna butt up the ends on one side. Will you be able to tell? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No. I mean, it's just going to be a seam there. It's really not that big of a deal. And now we're back at the potting shed, and as you can see, I am doubling up these 2x4s that are currently there. The additional 2x4 doesn't add any structural value at all. It's just going to beef it up so that when I put my faux beam on the outside of it, I have something to nail onto. Now, what you didn't see here is before I nailed them, I went ahead and put wood glue on the other side of it, just so I'll be sure that it stays in put. The wood glue acts as a great binder, better even than the nails do. And here I have the underside of my faux beam put on. I figured it would be a lot easier to just build it up there and stain it in place. That way I can just carry one piece of wood at a time instead of trying to fit the whole thing up there. This actually worked out really well for me. Working with the clamps made it super easy, and I had 2 ladders on either side, so I could just adjust it on one side and then go back over to the other side and put it in place over there. This worked out really well. As you can see, it holds it in place nicely, and then I will put the wood on the other side as well as this side and make sure I have the proper room before I go nailing or gluing anything into place. Press record the last time I was doing this, but what I do is I lay this board on top of here, go over to the other side, put the clamps on it, and then come over to this side and put the clamps on this side. So once again, I'm plagued by these stupid wires. They're just so inconvenient and so in the way. Oh my goodness. But just have to keep moving on and try to figure out how to work around it. So this is the before and after stain. I think I love it. I think it's just what I wanted. So 1 beam down, 1 to go. So the next day, I'm sorry, I did not video putting the light up. I actually was very frustrated with it. I ended up having Tony come and help me put it up. I just can't do things overhead very well. So he came and helped me do it. I absolutely love how it turned out. And this is the windows and how I plan on framing them out. And I also am going to stain that ledge that's on there. I haven't done that yet, and I need to do another coat on the actual windows themselves of the black paint. And that is it for this week's video. Next week, I'm going to be putting the second coat of paint on the shiplap and getting the other 2 windows finished, and then I will be moving on to decorations. So happy. Thank you so much for gardening with me. God bless. Have a great week.